Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and said, wow, I have an awful idea? Because that happened to me a little while ago, so I'm going to curse you all with this information. For those on my Discord, you know how much I love to collect data, so to answer this question, I had to run a little survey. I gathered 10 of IRL people I know, none of which who have ever heard of Guilty Gear before, and gave them brief descriptions of what a character looks like in addition to reading them a bio I had created for them. I recorded their results and gave them a score. So, let's see how they did. So a bad guy had a positive ratio of 4-1. On paper, everyone loved Soul. The only problem was with one of them, and they said it's because he has a ponytail. Kai Kisuke is next, and surprisingly, he had a negative ratio, the opposite of Soul, with 1-4. To quote my sister who took this little survey, he sounds like a pick-me. Next up is Mei, and this one was the most surprising for me. Mei is intentionally questionable, but on paper, she actually sounds pretty normal, and had a 5-0 in favor of her from all of my male friends. Next up is Axel, and he had an even split against him, a 2-3 ratio. A lot of people passed on Axel because he just sounded really boring. I mean, his hobby is collecting maps. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? To which I'll remind everyone, this is not me giving them a full detailed analysis of the character, just a brief blurb that they can get when they look at them on a dating profile. Next up was Chip, and he also had a split ratio, but 3-2 in his favor. The only reason he was turned down was because people thought he was too hyperactive. Potemkin follows Chip, and he had a shocking 0-5 ratio. Now, I know all my Potemkin enjoyers right now are crying, but hear me out. Potemkin, on profile, is kind of just really sad and desperate. Faust had a 1-4 ratio against him, which was surprising that there was even one. To quote, I'd swipe to see what kind of mystery was about him. Milia was another surprising one because she had a 2-3 ratio against her. On paper, she just seemed very uptight, and a lot of people weren't willing to go for someone unsociable like Milia. But she didn't get the worst end of the stick because Zato got a solid 0-5, all of which were because of his blindness. I didn't even tell them about the Shadow Demon. Ramlethal is next, and she also had a 0-5 ratio. To quote most of my friends, they didn't really want to talk to someone whose personality was their dog. But the hits keep coming because Leo swings again with a 0-5. To quote, he just seems very arrogant. But we're gonna end on a solid note with Nagoriyuki getting a solid 5-0 in his favor. Everyone loved the chill samurai who can cook. Next up is Giovanna, which got a 1-4 ratio against her. The only person who went for her was because she was Brazilian. Anji did pretty well with a 4-1 ratio in his favor. Everyone was super down with a chill guy who can dance. Like, yeah, I get it. Ino was a little surprising. She got a 3-2 ratio in her favor. The only reason I didn't think this would turn out is because Ino's a bitch. Unsurprisingly, Gold Lewis got a 0-5 ratio against him. The alien collector Fed is probably not going to do so well. Jacko coming in hot with a 4-1 ratio in her favor. The only person who didn't go for her was because she was too clingy. Happy Chaos surprisingly had a 4-1 ratio in his favor. The only one who didn't go for him was the only non-Zoomer participant. Baikin had a 2-3 ratio against her, which makes sense, she's an angry grandma. However, when I showed her picture to the participants, it changed to a 4-1. I just thought I should include that. Rounding out the cast, we have Testament. I gave Testament to my male participants. A, because I thought it was funny, and B, because there's not a lot of girls in Guilty Gear, so I kind of wanted to balance out the two lists. Either way, Testament had a 3-2 ratio in their favor. To quote one of my friends, there ain't no way someone's that tall and not kinky. That's the list. I have empirical evidence. Either way, I hope you enjoyed. I really like doing these sort of like survey data analysis videos. It triggers something in my brain. So stick around, I'll probably make some more in the future. Here's your rat. Have a good day. Next in line,